Jai Sadguru Dev and hello to everyone. Part 7, narration of book Sadguru Divya Charitavali, the supernatural performances of Sadguru Maharishi Shri Sadafal Dev Ji Maharaj, written by Aacharya Shri Dharam Chandra Dev Ji Maharaj. In this video, I'll start from page number 32. The incident starts here. I had received a wonderful light within myself 3 years prior to the death of Sri Sadguru Dev. It was winter season and I used to retire to bed after taking some milk. After sleeping for a while, I used to get up and practice yoga. The superb glow of light that I acquired was kindled within myself by Sri Sadguru Deo Ji. I would not describe the experience in detail but would only mention the state of yoga that I had one day during that period. While practicing yoga, I dissociated myself from the prana which acts in the body and started moving freely in the purely conscious state and ascended up beyond the limits of the zone prescribed by the Sadguru. It occurred to me that when that power is extant, why should one then limit oneself to one particular zone? As it is the free space of one's own conscious soul, one should freely move ahead in ecstasy of bliss. I kept on ascending up the heights. After some time, when I started coming down, I could not contact the prana with which to enter the body, and therefore, at the point of entry, I felt powerless and distressed. None of my efforts were succeeding due to absence of breath. I heard a voice then directing me to remember my Guru. I started thinking that even after ascending up to such a height, the power of God is ever attached to me. Where then is the need to remember the Guru? The trouble that I was in could not be described in words. In such circumstances, I remembered Sri Sadguru Dev. He was at the Vritikut ashram at that time. Immediately then Sri Sadguru Dev Ji became impatient and said that someone in great distress was calling him. Who could he be? Saying so, he could immediately know the difficult condition I was in through his divine power. He said in clear terms that it was his Mahatman, meaning me, and that I had committed the great blunder. He soon forced his breath downwards 2 times, as a consequence of which I immediately had my breath restored and I started seeing outside through my eyes. This had happened at 3 a.m. in the night. Since then, I never tried to come to this state for quite a long time. Whenever I started practicing yoga after sitting in asana, my conscious power used to arise and got stationed at the center of the Guru Mandal. It was very difficult for me then to come down to the physical level of the senses. I passed through this state a second time, 3 years after the death of Sri Sadguru Deo Ji on the bank of Ganga at Jamania in the district of Gazipur. Since then, I have never experienced such a state anymore. Now, I am able to know perfectly the position of earth and urdh, the lower and upper limits of the free play of consciousness, and move freely and peacefully in the conscious space. While Sri Sadguru Dev Ji was alive, he had told me that there was nothing to be afraid of and that I should control my power and center it slowly so that I could achieve my goal. He had said that since I was ascending a bit too quick, I was facing this difficulty. When I returned to Vritikut ashram after 3 months, he told me that he had saved my life. He said that even Brahma and Vishnu could not know the limits of this zone which I had tried to fathom. How precarious it was! I should never commit such a mistake again. It is for this reason that the limits of different zones are prescribed according to which one should practice yoga. In no case should these limits be transcended. It is only self-willed persons without the guidance of a Sadguru who practice yoga independently and fail to achieve their aim. It is a well-known fact that prana stops in the practice of yoga. When this life breath stops, the Atman quits the body and enjoys bliss in the Pitri Pran Path, or after falling from yoga, it is again born in a human frame. So, it is only under the guidance of a Sadguru that one enters the internal conscious space and achieves the desired objective and the final goal. Therefore, no practice should ever be done without the guidance of a Guru. It is the Guru alone which is the son of Brahma Vidya. It is the Sadguru alone who frees a soul from its physical bondages, liberates him even while he is living on earth, and gives him a taste of eternal bliss. It is therefore that one should surrender himself totally to the will of the Sadguru and practice Vihangam Yoga in the light of the self-knowledge under steadfast adherence to the feet of the Master. Next incident. In the days gone by there was one Sri Lalji Rao in the village Pakdi itself, where the present Vritikut ashram stands. There was a disciple of Sri Lalji Rao whose external breath stopped and prana entered the zone of its disappearance while he was practicing yoga. Sri Rao was out of the village and the local people thought that the man was dead. They buried him in a samadhi which stands even today. Many such incidents relating to yoga practitioners can be sent at various places. Next incident. There was a devotee of Sri Swamiji who was issueless. The Pandits and astrologers had also declared him to be infertile. The doctors had also proclaimed that his wife shall never bear a child. But due to the grace of Sri Swamiji, the lady got a son and a daughter. All were astounded to see such a miraculous yogic feat. Next incident. Once Sri Sadguru Deo Ji had been to Ganga Sagar, the place where the river Ganga enters the sea. There were boats in the river. One was a Avadhut sannyasi who was getting down from the boat along a plank and was nervous out of fear for falling down. Seeing his condition, Sri Sadguru Deo Ji inquired of the Avadhut as to whether the fear was in himself or in the boat. Since the Brahman is all pervading and limitless, where does the fear lie? The fear appears in a limited entity due to its association with Prakriti, nature. That God is fearless and tranquil. Sri Sadguru Dev had mentioned to me of his reappearance in his full human form after 3 months from his death. He had shown me his full smiling face adorned with locks of white hair. He had also sounded me 2 times for showing his face to me. Sri Swamiji had earlier asked me to take him in my lap when he reappeared before him, but when he reappeared and I did not take him up into my lap due to fear, I started crying. It was a gigantic view of Sri Sadguru Deo Ji's face before me. After the death of Sri Sadguru Dev, I felt severe pain due to the upward pull of prana, the vital air, in my head. One day I saw Sri Sadguru Dev in dream. It appeared to me that he was getting me acupunctured through someone in the rear of my head and also over my two eyes. When I got up after the sleep, the pain had already disappeared. The trouble in the vital air of the head also vanished completely after about a week. That's enough for today. I'll see you in next video. It's till up page number 38. Jai Sadguru Dev and stay blessed.